Hi, Dr. John Erickson again, continuing our exploration and explanation of things that are important to understand and know about ADD and ADHD in your child. Today we're going to talk about the body's natural barriers. There are several barriers within the body that are naturally occurring in that they will prevent or wall off and protect certain other areas of the body. For example, we have what's called a gut barrier. We have also what's called a brain barrier, a skin barrier, and a lung barrier. Now, more specifically as it relates to ADD and ADHD, the gut barrier and the brain barrier are associated with ADHD. Now, the gut barrier can become compromised. It can become affected or damaged due to poor diet, due to food sensitivities, eating foods that you're allergic to. This could be gluten or soy or milk. Infections that the body may be dealing with, H. pylori, for example. Drug and antibiotic use can also disrupt the gut barrier. Another one is a metabolic change, which would be blood sugar changes or blood sugar problems. Now, to understand a little bit better how this gut barrier works, I want you to picture in your mind your screen door. If you don't have one, picture what a screen door looks like. Now, the purpose of the screen door is to allow fresh air in, but to keep all of the nasty bugs out. Now, again, for a moment, picture yourself tearing a hole into the screen. Now, we still can get the fresh air in, but what else now can come in? The unwanted bugs, the mosquitoes, the hornets, the flies. They're allowed to come in and cause problems. This is in a similar way what happens inside of the gut. Due to the things that we mentioned before, blood sugar metabolism, medications, poor diet, food allergies, the gut lining can actually become torn. And when it is torn, that allows a situation where food particles that are undigested, macromolecules larger than normal molecules, are allowed to pass from the lumen of the gut, from the space inside of the gut, into the bloodstream. Now, this is a very, very bad situation because once those things have moved inside of the bloodstream, the body's defenses are alerted and the immune system goes into hyperdrive to attack and eradicate these things which aren't supposed to be where they are. This, incidentally, is the mechanism that we are finding that is leading to autoimmunity. Autoimmunity is a situation where the immune system has become overactive and confused and has begun to attack the body itself. So as food particles are allowed to pass into the bloodstream, things that aren't supposed to be in the bloodstream, the immune system is fired up, and that can irritate and exacerbate immune function, leading to autoimmunity. Now, you have what's called the enteric nervous system or the enteric brain. There's a large network of nerves and brain structures or fibers inside the gut. And there is a strong communication between the gut and the brain in your head. So when you irritate and upset the gut lining or the enteric nervous system, we are also going to find problems with the brain barrier. The brain barrier can get leaks in it or holes in it, allowing now things to pass the brain barrier and affect the brain in a negative fashion. Now, this is a bad, bad thing. Picture in your mind those situations where perhaps you've gone out and you've overeaten, or you ate a dessert, a real heavy sweet dessert, or a big heavy carb meal. And many times after these meals, we find that we're a little bit foggy or spacey or tired. Our brain is just run down and wants to shut off. This is a prime example of how the gut being irritated can actually impact the brain function. Some other things to understand about the brain barrier. There are a couple of areas of the brain barrier that are the weakest, and the weakest links are always going to be the ones that are attacked first. One area of the brain barrier that is very weak is in an area called the cerebellum. Now, the cerebellum is right here on the back of the head, the back of the brain, kind of below the brain, the back of the skull. And the function of the cerebellum is that it affects posture and coordination, not just motor or physical coordination, but also mental coordination, thought coordination, verbal coordination, and also muscle tone. Now, another area of the brain that can be affected is called the amygdala. This is an area of the brain that puts the smile on people's faces. So if somebody smiles at you, a natural reaction is to smile back. This can be a healthy functioning amygdala. Parents will often say, when I smile at my child, he doesn't smile back. It's like he can't respond to a cue like that in a favorable, positive fashion. one thing to consider is we may have some of these barriers that are compromised. It could be either the gut or the brain or both. Proper evaluation can help you identify and understand if this is a component contributing to your child's ADD or ADHD. Dr. John Erickson here saying thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on our next little discussion about things that can impact and influence ADD and ADHD. Have a great day.